In case you are new in the channel, this is Anna Mugeche. Please do subscribe. Click that button down up there from the video, from the channel, and subscribe to the channel and support me do this noble job of bringing hope in our homes, in our families, and to people. In today's topic, I want us to talk about love. Love that you know is supposed to be very sweet. Love that is supposed to be to make us very happy and satisfied. But I want to speak about the same love gone sour. I'm going to use different examples, and I am going to say why and what it means when we talk about or we hear from our news about love going sour. A bit of explanation or description. Love from the Bible, God is love, and that is agape love. There are different types of love. Love between people, love between human beings, and other different types of love. Now this love is supposed to be selfless, kind, not envious. Neither does it keep record of wrongs. So that means this love is supposed to be forgiving. But when we hear in our news, once in a while I watch news, and once we hear in our news that love has gone sour, what does it mean? Sour, it's something that tastes like a lemon. It is unpleasant taste. Picture that you have taken, you have put some lemon or a piece of lemon in your mouth, and tell me how you react. That's exactly what you do, because it feels like it is painful in the mouth, all in your taste buds, in the tongue that tastes that lemon. And so when a situation and a relationship turns into sour, that is how the situation looks like. Unhappiness comes into people. You are not satisfied. It is no longer satisfiable as it's supposed to be. There is no factory in it. And so when it goes sour, the situation is not good. Like I was saying, once in a while I watch news so that I can be in touch with the world and in our country. And of late, there are cases of homicide that have flooded Kenyan news and in the world. And as we listen and see love turning sour, people killing each other because of love, one wonders, since when? Thing that was supposed to be so sweet like love, since when did we started labeling it with a ribbon of crime, of sin? And that is exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. So what is love anyway? I give a good example of a student who was hacked to death in a broad daylight by a person who was meant to love her, by a person who was a male friend. And this girl died because of that sweet thing that is supposed to be very sweet in the name of love. Hacked in broad daylight. This was a student in the University of Moi, that is in Eldoret. And the male friend, if you heard the news or if you read the news, because I followed the news, the male friend traveled all the way from Thika to Eldoret just to do the heinous act in form of love. And if you followed up the news, the reason as to why the love had to go sour is because the guy could not accept rejection. The guy was obsessed with the girl. He said that he had invested so much on the girl, but the reciprocation was not done. The girl could not reciprocate the love. She couldn't respond. And so when the investigations were done, this guy said that the girl was not responding. According to the mother of the guy who did the heinous act of killing, he said that he knew that they were in a relationship, although it had separated, and the man was okay. But out of anger, as the man said later, that is why he killed the girl. So the girl died in the hands of the person that she knew since childhood in form of love. Anger is something that can kill. The Bible tells us that the sun should not set when you are angry. You should square whatever has made you angry with the person who has made you to be annoyed before you sleep. Because anger can kill. Anger and lack of confidence. Because I feel the death was caused by this love going sour, is that this guy did not have the confidence of losing the girl. And anger is not something which is very good. So it is something that we should look up to. The Bible says that we should fill our hearts with heavenly things and our souls with spiritual things, so that whenever we have that anger, we are able to deal with it. The guy was heartbroken and could not accept rejection, as we have said. Anger destroys. He traveled all the way once again to come and do the heinous act. Another example is an example that we had in the news just another day about the engineer from the airport who was killed because of love by the person that he knew, the person that he loved. Remember, the opposite of love is hatred. This guy who was an engineer in the airport was killed by the girlfriend. I saw the news myself. The investigations are still undergoing. I saw the news myself. I saw the guy leave the house asking for help, and the girlfriend is behind kicking the man. One wonders what is a love. One wonders what is so hard for us to speak about. The suspect, when she was asked about it, she said that the man has been beating her and she was fighting for herself. And in the process of fighting for herself, the guy was killed. It goes back to the bottom line. Why don't we speak about our stuff? Why don't we speak about what is eating us? Why does love have to go sour? And if it goes sour, it makes me bitter. It makes you bitter. And once you feel that you're broken, you are totally broken. And you go into your own cocoon and you start mourning about the lost love. You start mourning about that love that you have just lost. What if God was trying to stop you from that relationship? What if God was keeping you from future problems? If you could take it positively. That is what I came to tell you. That when love goes sour, these are things that we can do. There is something that we can do about the future. We may not do it about the past, but there is tomorrow. We can build our future. We can wait for those that God has given us instead of taking the laws into our hands. If you love that person, love is supposed to be kind. Love is supposed to be selfless. Love is supposed to be forgiving. So we can learn to forgive each other. Instead of killing each other, we can learn to forgive each other. I was reading again in another newspaper about love going sour. And I read about, in Britain, I think, about a teen who was 17 years old who killed an ex-girlfriend, 17 years old. That was a teen. Killed another 17-year-old. And as we speak, I think he's still in jail. These are very young children. The girl lost life in the hands of somebody that claimed to have loved her. And the boy, in this case, wrote a letter that he was very remorseful by killing somebody that he believed that he loved so much. So what am I talking about? Anger is not good. Look at what happens after the heinous act. These people are either jailed, these people either kill themselves or they run away. And remember, these are sons and daughters of people. These are fathers and mothers of people. So ask yourself, after that heinous act, what happens to the ones who are left? What happens to the siblings? What happens to the parents? So anger is something that you're not supposed to pray around with. Let us speak about our issues. Let us not carry baggages with ourselves. There is a burden which is very light, and that burden is that of God. So let's learn to take our burdens to God instead of killing to each other. If love goes sour, the noble thing to do is to assume that it was not supposed to be, and especially if you are not yet married. If you're married, that is something else. We can sit down and speak about it. We can sit down and speak about it. We can also talk about it and seek for help instead of doing this heinous act, hurting ourselves and hurting those that we love. Women are becoming victims, men are becoming victims, families are affected, and marriages are affected. Let's learn to take our burdens to God so that He can give us His, which is lighter. Love is forgiving, love is kind, love is not envious, and love is not jealous. Let us speak about love. I will do another session about love going sour and what we are supposed to be doing about it, because we have seen love going sour, people stabbing each other. Thank God they never die, and people also forgive, because love is forgiving and God is a love. Let's embrace the love of God, and we shall know the sweetness of love. May God bless you. May God keep you. Do subscribe to this channel, because when you subscribe, you are going to help each other through your experiences and my experiences, and we are going to touch life through this channel. God bless you once again. Don't forget to touch and click that button of subscription.